Yeah, you know what, people? I don't know. But I do know what this country needs to get it going and keep it going. I do know. And it's right there. And if we all work together, we can make this work. I mean, we'd all get a piece of the pie, and that's a job creation tax, Like the gas tax. Remember when Reagan passed that gas tax? I figured the same thing, but with the dollar bill. People working come out and say, hey, listen, if you're making $20 an hour, can we have $1 an hour of that? It's going to create jobs in the future. And then ask them, have you ever worked in a temporary service? Have you ever give somebody almost 40% of your check just to work? Well, this is only giving a small portion of your check for jobs in the future for you, your children. It's like Social Security, but not like. The only problem they had with Social Security, the reason it went where it went to, because these guys started picking at it. They couldn't get money over here, so they started taking it out of there. I believe it should be anchored where nobody can touch that motherfucker for anything but to create jobs. It's got to be a money flow. I believe they could use that money for low-income housing, for people to get their home at a fair and balanced deal. That money should go to create road construction, utilities. We have a lot of problems with utilities and sewer systems and, dams that need rebuild. These would create jobs, and these jobs would create more jobs. And the way it would create more jobs is people, when they got more money, they seem to want to go out and buy clothes. They seem to want to go out to the movie theater. They seem to want to go out and eat. You see what I mean? And their children, spend money on their children when they got extra money. You see what I'm saying? And all these other companies and factories have to hire people for the demands of everything else that flows with it. You see what I mean? It just keep working, and all these people working, and they're taking a little bit of a tax out to create jobs in the future. And if a person knows that money's being took out to improve their environment, to improve their country, to improve the highways and freeways, to help people get that low financing home from the government at trying to think what, low income people can buy a home. So having to pay rent like they're doing, they can get that home. You know what I mean? I got a lot of ideals from a lot of other presidents that worked for them for a while, but they didn't. There's only one problem was the whole situation of it. They just started building these homes for these people, but they didn't, low income, but he thought there was work there, but they didn't figure out how to keep the wheel turning. And a job creation tax fixed where nobody can touch that money for no other project. NASA, nobody can touch that for nothing. You know what I mean? You can't put your fingers in there. And when people are working, that goes to Social Security. Money goes into Social Security. And I do believe, too, that would be easier on Americans, where you see how much medicine costs. People having problems with their insurance company paying their medical bills. What if the government just took care of all that? There wasn't no insurance companies out there, you know what I mean, doing it. It was just the government. And they took out, so you paying money for your insurance, the government pays money from your insurance. Wouldn't that be so freaking, they take a quarter or so, whatever, you know, to pay for the insurance, a low rate insurance, depending on children, how much money you're making. But you got the same balance of insurance that everybody's got the same coverage, 99% coverage. You know, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? It's just the government would be taken out. People are afraid of the government. You got a lot of senators and governors and shit up in there thinks that freaking money's theirs. It's not. This is the American people, and that money should be spent so. You know? So. People keep their fingers off crap. Go get, you know, it's like, Senator, go get some stock. You know what I mean? You need extra money for your living. You need to make some deals somewhere down in there that doesn't have to affect the United States government or the policies or the people, you know, and yeah. I think that would really be cool, you know, and the future, man, and let people know that there's a self-powered automobile out there that it would work, and the money that's going to fuel, paying for gasoline, all this, man, that would go right into your pocket. No more paying no gas bills, you know what I mean? You can afford to put your kid in school. You can afford that steaks in your freezer. You can afford to buy your kids some better tennis shoes, some better clothing. You can afford to put your kids in a better school. You can afford this. You can afford that, you know? That would work too. All these things we did and synchronized, it would make America great and strong. Really, really great and strong, you know. That'd be with healthcare, that'd be with financing, jobs in the future, where all it is for people just to say, okay, you can do this, take a little bit of my paycheck. And another ideal I got, for Social Security, I think they should leave Social Security alone. How much they take out of your paycheck every week for Social Security. We'll leave that the way it is now. But on your W-2 form, you could tell them to take out an extra 5%, 10%, 15, 20% of your paycheck a week. An extra. That extra goes into a government, financing situation. I don't know how to put that word, how to put it, but where the government takes that money like a bank does, and they can use it. Like a bank does, they take a little bit of you put your money in a savings account, bank gets a little bit, you get a little bit of interest. You see what I mean? But it's got to be a little bit better than the bank. You know what I mean? The interest. People say this is better interest than what a bank is. And you can take that money and you can change it every year or every 6 months. So you can go down and change it from 15 to 5%. But you can't touch that money until you reach the retirement age. And then when you retire, you get all that money that you saved up from that percentage in one big check. When you retire, they give you one huge check. And then you get your Social Security, regular Social Security, you know, that little 3%, whatever they take out of your paycheck. You get just like regular. The only thing to be different is that 5, 10, 15, or 20%. You know how much they took out, and you with interest, and you don't see it because they're taking it out of your paycheck, and you can't get to it like a savings account, and you don't want to put your money in the stock market. Jesus, don't do that, you know. Because a lot of people, they don't got the common sense for stock. They lose all the money they had. You know what I mean? Like, no, don't do that. You can't do that. Take away Social Security and let people buy stock. No. You know, that's no good. That's no good. But these are things that I believe. And I do believe, too, they need to legalize marijuana. In the whole state, in the whole United States, legalize it like they did alcohol. Alcohol one time was against the law. Alcohol is the worstest fucking thing in cigarettes there is. You know it and I know it. And there's more of the good comes out of weed than all that shit. Cannabis, you can make rope, clothing, paper. You can get high, you know, you can use it for medical, you see, and put a tax on that, a government tax. And I think marijuana should be grown government. I think it should be a government thing, that the government gets the money for law enforcement, for military law enforcement, where you wouldn't be taking these taxes out all over for this and that, where they got this money for themselves. That's what I believe. I think if we did all these things, it would balance out correctly and beautifully a better America. And I see what Trump's doing and what he's doing. If people held out with him, and you held strong with Trump, it's going to work out really, really good. I mean, really good. When China busted and then they lowered, you know, do what they're supposed to do, be fair with this, and we deal with Korea. Oh man, there's going to be so much, these factories, and oh yes, I'm telling you, that'd be really great what Trump's doing. But people, I think Trump don't want to come out and tell everybody what his goal is, because he's afraid he's going to hex it. You know what I mean? That's what I think. But I see what he's doing, and it's a great idea, man. If we only could stick it out with him, I'm telling you now.